This is Manoj Joshi. Welcome you back again to Wellness by All Means Forum, where we talk to the heroes of Silicon Valley in the Bay Area. So today we have a wonderful friend of mine. His name is Mahesh Tank, who is a wonderful entrepreneur, and he is the founder of a company called Ensymbio. And I have been working with him for last at least 10 years minimum, and he comes from the engineering background from Wall Street and education industry. 18 years ago, he founded his company called Ensymbio to help the startup companies in the Silicon Valley and also the growing companies. So he has got a lot to offer today. So let's welcome Mahesh ji.
Hey,
Mahesh ji, how are you?
oh, fine. How are you?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for spending time for the people that we care about, because it's all about building a community. I know I had a very small discussion about you with you about like what are the different things that we're doing and how it really impacts the community that we're building together, and especially in the Silicon Valley. So we will talk about that. But before I start, I just really like the word Ensymbio because the word symbiosis. I believe this is the root word, symbiosis. So I think you got inspired by the word symbiosis. So if you can just tell us a little bit more about the origin of your company, and then how you came up with that idea and how you're going so far, then we'll go from there.
Yeah, hi Manojji. Yeah, so this is actually Manojji has done a great work. I met him about 10 years ago. First, let me tell him thank you for the last 10 years. We've been in touch almost every few months and chatting about the current events and how the corporate executives, their responsibilities, how they make world the better place by contributing back to the community. Just the Ensymbio, I worked like almost 17 years into the software industry, to the solution industry, and most of the times the big corporate, there was a big barrier, which is kind of just saying that there is a clients and there is a vendors. So somehow it always remind the division of it, where it's just saying that client is way up here, the vendor is up here. So somehow there was no synergy. And the word it came out, I was always wanted to have it to keep client and a vendor to the same platform, to kind of saying they are equally exist together. And the way it turned out to be, like I always wanted to say they both need each other to grow. So somehow it's been by big corporation or small corporation or any client vendor kind of relationship, it's been always remain in balance approach. So this is now the efficiency of running a corporation, it comes by having both of them on the same level. So the reason behind I founded the Ensymbio and started to work on it, I want to bring that barrier to saying that can we coexist together at the same time, even though it sounds like one is powerhouse, one is not, but to keep it came both in balance. And this is how the Ensymbio came in form. And I bought this company to kind of introduce ourselves as one of the vendor in different companies. And by adding the value to come about to saying that now both entity kind of needs each other to grow, survive, and thrive. So
right. I like that idea. In fact, I first got introduced to Ensymbio as a brand builder because the amount of work and the quality of work that your company did for us, Wellness by All Means, to initiate the whole concept about and putting into a nice flyer and then all those things I still remember. So I believe it has got a lot to do with your passion to help small startup companies and how to help them, not just in the, giving them a print solution. I believe I always talk to you about, how you help your clients. You talk about, it's not about just one thing. There are too many things that people need help. Like you go there with an open mind, like companies like Facebook or Google or all the big companies here, and how you start the whole help in the operation management. Right? Essentially, you help them, whatever the need, the solution will come. But you don't have a cookie cutter approach like, okay, I just give the print solution to them. So how do you really explain to that approach? Like how do you really work in that mindset? Like how you want to help people to find solution to the real problem that they're suffering from?
So in if you go in reality of the words, a lot of times solutions is being built off the big MBA school, or you look at the high-end books, and
right.
what they say is, and that generally it's lead by the example. So they have a X set of case studies, and on that base they build a excellent plan, what you call the program, to just make sure like people execute it by textbook execution. But in reality words, when you're working with the startups to the growing companies, there is nobody put the focus on figuring it out, the pain points. End of the day, if I'm running the company, and what empowers me if somebody takes care of my pain points. And once the pain point is being taken care, or somebody is addressing the pain point, now I'm working on my full potential. As a small company, they're always going to be resource constrained. They're always going to be finance constrained. So this is where we see how do we add the value. So again, nSymbio's core philosophy always bottom remain. You spend $1, we will find a way to give you $2 or $2.50 worth of value back. Now that makes it the small company or the startups or the growing company to be more efficient and solving to move forward in the vision, how they're going to make the change in the world.
Right.
And this is how we started doing it. Right.
That's very good. So we will keep juggling between personal life, other family life, the community life, and also the business life, just like in a nutshell, so that we keep touching about many different aspects of our conversation. So I also love the idea of you really see the family value, like taking care of your mom, taking care of your family, that is also very important, very integral to us. So tell us a little bit more about how you build them together, because having a company, a small business, and having a family, having a lot of opportunities to put them together, but there are different paths people take. So what is that personal path that you have taken to put them together, taking care of parents, taking care of family, taking care of the business? So any hurdles that you have experienced or any stress that you have experienced, and how you have really coped with those?
So this is one of the thing, taking care of the families, that comes from the foundation, right? How you grew up, how you raised, and it's not just that. Then after that point, you have a choice. So I'm always calling it like, if you reach your adulthood, then you hit the fork. Now at the fork, you have a choice, which route you want to take, right? So there is a sum of the route, which end of the day, what makes you happy, what makes you responsible, and what you think you can scale at home, can you scale it at work and the business? So the scenarios, it's kind of, I would say, the joy what we were getting it, me and my wife, by supporting our families and in the utmost difficult times of our life. And then he's saying, okay, we could do that. How about if we share our experience to go out, run a company? Because generally people work on the technology company, they immediately think technology is the key factor to succeed. We kind of just saying that let's take this family value base and what the value we consider. So this is the nSymbio formation. It started like how we do it at home. This is how we say, I call it as a nSymbio, our customer is our extended family, what we do. Right. So in order to manage all of this stuff, so along the line when we got in 2009 timeframe, where 9-10 timeframe, once my father was going through the Alzheimer, he almost 10 years, he passed away. And about in 2010, I started getting more insomnia kind of thing. So I started to lose the sleep for 2008-9, 2 years. I slept one day a week. Then it turns into, so finally I met the Manojji in 2010-11. And thank God he kind of just explained to me, he kind of gave me the way. So I did 2 months morning 5 to 7 office class kind of gone in, which I haven't done it before. Like I never had that side of the spiritual kind of connectivity. So once we started doing that 5 to 7 in 2 years, it's still I'm suffering through the insomnia. So that problem did not go away. But along the line, the key technique he showed me is the how to breathe. That is the most important element. So I'm not the big yoga or anything I'm doing it, but only thing I learned is to how to breathe. So when I don't sleep, after 4 or 5 hours is my average maximum sleep time. So after that, I figured it out to stay in a bed and I can breathe for 2 hours. And morning when I wake up, you don't feel anything happening change. So, but it's a huge change for me, and I was able to pass on to my family as well. So
that's very good. I think there was a great improvement. You said like in the beginning, like you were sleeping 1 day in a week, but right now at least you're sleeping 4 to 5 hours in a night. That's very good.
That's yes.
Right, and also like the thing that you talked about, like I think you're mentioning earlier also, like the amount of it's just not the amount of sleep, but how you feel after the sleep. Like if you have taken care of before sleep or throughout the day, in terms of breath and all, like definitely like you'll feel more energetic throughout the day.
Right,
and keeping that energy, conserving that energy, minimizing the stress, maximizing your prana, what we call, through breathing techniques, through mindfulness techniques, that will definitely help us to overcome the other side of the insomnia. But you can always be energetic to work without getting tired. That's why a lot of people have built up a practice of just sleeping for 4 or 5 hours. I sleep for only 4 hours every night. But still you wake up and then you have excitement in life, you have that integrated yoga techniques into your personality, then you don't feel that you lack something. So I think you have picked up on the way some techniques of managing everything with what we have, right? That's the biggest part. And then that is, I think, the root cause of symbiosis also, is understanding everything's importance and then try to put them together. Like not to maintain a clear-cut boundaries between this role, that role, but everybody has their own kind of place, right? And how do you put them together? I think that is kind of coming out in the whole conversation that we have right now, in terms of how you have integrated the core aspect of yoga, the breathing, into your life, how you have understood like taking help from the family itself and then building a business around it, and thinking about how the big corporations have to work with the community. That's another aspect that I would like to talk about, like now in terms of corporate social responsibility. What do you see, like what kind of things that we as small business owners can do in the Silicon Valley to help each other to build a kind of cohort, a kind of a symbiotic environment in the whole Silicon Valley, so that it stands out as a single unit for the world, as an example?
Right. So this is especially what we exercise since 2002 we started to now. It's COVID-19.
Right.
It become even far more important now to see how to, because every single small business to the big businesses,
right,
everybody is going through the struggle. Everybody is going through the how they're going to survive, what they're going to do, how they're going to thrive, right? And there are two things to it. Once somebody startup, end of the day, they're worried about how they're going to make every kind of payroll going to be made, how they're going to survive, right? And at the same time, big corporate, they have the responsibility of to how they can manage their growth, as well as how they respond to what you call the shareholders. So, so unfortunately or fortunately, sometimes it is a double-edged sword. So like when you go in, when you have to respond to big companies right now, so this is the whole game, the whole kind of plateau is being changed, right? So in a still end of the day, what we strongly believe that it's like you wanted to think about the global, because now the world become more flatter. So you want to think about it, but at the same time, you want to take care of local first. So this is the core philosophy we operate on it. So when we work with our partners, we kind of just saying that it's just like similar thing. If we bring a food at home, then it's just saying that, oh, I want to make sure my family is fed first. So now they're fed, so you are not worried about it. So suddenly now you become open up and saying that now I want to take care of more. So that is our mission, to saying that I want to help more businesses, but I want to make sure first survive first, right? So if the people would, this is the time frame where communities start acting little bit, big corporations start acting in kind of understanding what is needed for the social development of local community, as well as economical development for the local community.
Right.
So this is where for them to, how they can balance the community responsibility versus their shareholders' responsibility. And that is the new way of dealing. This is the new age company would be far more respected in the local area where they are developing, because this is where it's for them, it's a symbiotic as well, right? Because
right.
The local community gives them kind of a presence,
Right.
and gives they hire the employees. So now those employees are become part of local community.
Right. So this is so good, because right now your company is situated in the heart of Silicon Valley, Palo Alto, where the famous HP Garage started with, right? So we are in the heart of Silicon Valley, and obviously when we talk about big corporations taking care of the community in general, and then try to build it a whole ecosystem where everybody can thrive, that's the bigger part, because it's like a big brother approach. Mm-hmm. And particularly the technological revolution that we have seen so far, the whole technology has brought us together. Mm-hmm. We talked about the concept called the global village. Mm-hmm. But I believe in COVID-19 situation, pandemic, in this situation right now, it's not just a global village. I think it has become more like a family, global family. Mm-hmm. And that is what the yogis talked about, like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. Mm-hmm. So when you see this as a whole family, and then we are playing different roles, the big brother role, the younger brother role, the brother and sister role, all the different roles that we supposedly play in a family, if you can build that as a foundation, and then build the whole customer relationship management around that concept of symbiosis, I guess there will be a bigger change, and a lot of people will benefit from this strategy, particularly in this COVID-19 situation, where people need to help each other, people need to take care of the community, people need to take care of the totality. Then only individually we can be successful. So we can be successful only when we understand each other's pain point and work towards it. And that's what I think your core message is. Any last word that you would like to speak about, like how we are just coming towards the last minute of our interview?
Yeah, I would just say it's the one, if we understand, this is one of the human nature is, if you understand the pain points,
right?
That means, how do you understand the pain point? There is a two way. One is your financial way, business way, and there is a human way, where you start showing the empathy towards the people and start getting them on board to really understand their pain. If you really understand their pain, then world would be much better place if people start truly following the symbiotic relationship, where it says everybody is equally important. So everybody has their share,
right.
Their share of the value, what they can add, how the world develops.
Right. So that's beautiful. I think you explained in a very nice way the simple word for symbiosis and what the core philosophy behind it, and how we can really practically put it into practice, into business, understanding each other's pain point, understanding each other's core strength, and helping each other as a larger community. I think that philosophy has got a lot of things to do with right now. I would like to end our conversation with one line that we always believe in global thinking. But global thinking has to support it with local acting. So unless we act locally, helping each other, we cannot have a global presence. But we have to take care of the charity begins at home. Once you start taking care of our own self, then extend your family bigger and bigger. And at the Center of Wellness, by all means, we also have the same approach. We try to think about the whole Silicon Valley as a community and how we can build this as a most healthiest community, like with all the different challenges, how we can minimize the stress, how we can maximize the happiness, how can we help each other to be not only technologically more advanced, but also health-wise, because there will be a lot of stress always. But how do you use the ancient wisdom of yoga, mindfulness, and bring in into this technological arena to build a good platform for health, wellness, happiness, and all other things that is very important. So I think that again, I would believe that there will be symbiotic relationship between spirituality and technology also, so that we can have a wonderful life for everyone in this planet. Thank you very much for your special moment, and I would look forward to talk to you again. Thank you.
Sure thing, Manoj. Take care.
Namaste.
And namaste.
Bye.
Bye.